Fasten your seatbelts, hold on tight. You're in for one crazy ride tonight on the Josh Nolan Full Throttle Racing Show. #1 on Facebook.
Fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy night.
Here we go. Alrighty. Ladies and gentlemen, fasten your seatbelts, hold on tight. You're in for one incredibly awesome and amazing ride on the Josh Nolan Full Throttle Racing Show. #1 on YouTube. Tonight we have James Roselli on the show. Welcome to the show, James.
Hi.
So, James, let's talk about your racing career. Where did it begin for you?
2014 at Lehigh Valley Quarter Midget Racing Club.
Okay. And you started out in Ryman Drive, right?
Yes.
Okay. Then you were a red plate driver. You had
Yes.
a lot of success there. You were telling me before, right?
Mhm.
And then you had a lot of success in blue plate, right?
Yes.
Then you went to 160 and you ended up with a lot of success there.
Mhm.
And then senior animal, right?
Yes.
Okay. And ended up with a lot of success there. So then you went to Light World Formula, right?
Correct.
And then had a lot of success there also. Okay. Now then you went into micro sprints and you told me that you've had some really good success there, right?
Correct.
Okay. And let's talk about, okay, now James, what is the worst thing you've had happen to you as a race car driver?
The motor blow while leading.
Wow, that's pretty, yeah, not cool. So James, okay, let's talk about your racing number now. You said it was number 98. And what's the story behind that number 98?
It was my dad's grandfather, which got carried through the generations from my dad to my uncle to me now.
Okay. And your racing colors are red, white, black, and gold, which is pretty cool. So James, let's talk about your racing chassis. What do you have for racing chassis?
An RTS in 125, Saucony Nye in 600s.
So which chassis do you prefer more that you can adapt to, James?
The Saucony Nye chassis.
Okay. So James, let's talk about, you said something about you have a big race coming up, Tulsa Shootout, right? You guys have already got your registration turned in for that. So who is your racing hero now, James?
It used to be Jimmy Johnson and Darren Pittman, but they retired. So now it is Kyle Larson.
And you've met all three of them, right?
Correct.
Okay. So, and like I was telling you, James, Jimmy Johnson's racing IndyCar. You could probably still catch him on the IndyCar side of things, right?
Yeah.
So, James, let's talk now. You guys race Hoosier tires, right?
Yes.
Okay. One of the questions I forgot to ask you before I forgot to press record. Have you guys, how often do you guys go through a set of tires?
Couple races.
Couple races. Okay. So which track do you prefer? Do you prefer a wet track or do you prefer a dry slick track?
I prefer a wet track.
Okay. And what is your favorite racetrack to race on?
Greenwood Valley Action Tracks.
Greenwood Valley Action Tracks. Okay. Why is Greenwood Valley your favorite racetrack?
Because I don't know. It's just a lot of fun.
A lot of fun. Okay. So now, James, let's talk about some of your friends at the racetrack. Who are some of your friends at the racetrack?
GT Ferry, Larry Keller, Chase Ware.
Okay.
Many others.
Okay. All righty. So James, do you miss a lot of your quarter midget kids that you raced against now that you've moved up?
Not really, because most of the quarter midget kids moved on sort of with me.
Okay. So James, what do you like to do when you're not racing?
I like to play video games and watch baseball.
And you're a Yankees fan, right?
Correct.
And you're also you also iRace.
Correct.
So when you iRace, what do you like to race on iRacing?
Sprint cars and midgets.
Sprint cars and midgets. So, okay, have you ever tried doing an IndyCar on iRacing?
Yeah.
Is that pretty hard to do?
Sort of.
Sort of. Okay. So do you race leagues on iRacing?
Yeah.
Okay. So, James, let's talk about what do you like to eat at the racetrack?
French fries and mozzarella sticks.
Game on, brother. So, James, you said you do not have a racing nickname, right?
No.
Well, you're talking to somebody that does. I'm the full throttle rock star here. So, so James, when it comes to the racetrack, is there certain things that you will do on race day and certain things that you won't do on race day?
I won't wear green.
Is it because it's bad luck to wear green?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. So James, where do you see yourself in 5 years with your racing career?
Running sprint cars and or midgets.
Okay. And where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Running sprint cars and or midgets again.
Okay, very cool, very cool. So James, how's school going for you? Yeah,
Good.
good. You're what grade now, James?
7th.
7th. Okay, okay, okay. So James, let's talk about now. Do you have anything you want to say to the kids to help get them in a race car?
Don't be nervous, and it's a lot of fun and you make a lot of friends.
Okay. And who is all on your racing crew, James?
My mom, my dad, my grandparents, my uncle, and many other friends and family.
So another question I had for you, James, that popped up, and I'm going to ask you this right now. Being you're racing microsprints, do you have a lot of people ask for your autograph?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Okay. Okay. All righty. So James, thank you very much for being on the racing show with me tonight, talking to us about your racing career. I will call you in just a little bit, so you can go ahead and step back out now.
Okay. Thank you for
Yeah,
having
thank
me.
you. Yes. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, that was James Roselli on our racing show tonight, talking to us about his racing career. Also, ladies and gentlemen, he is still looking for sponsors. Yes. So if you're looking for somebody to help sponsor, get a hold of James Roselli and his racing team, because they would appreciate the sponsorship on James's race car as he gets further into his racing career. But definitely, ladies and gentlemen, some racing news for you to come up. Tomorrow night on the racing show, we have Oliver and Sebastian Walden. Their dad was the 2005 Indianapolis 500 champion and 2011 Indianapolis 500 champion. And their dad is also the 2005 IZOD IndyCar Series champion. And we're going to talk to them because they are racing go-karts in St. Petersburg, Florida, but they also signed a development deal with Andretti Autosport. So we're going to be talking to them. Some racing news for you here. Our thoughts and prayers are with Dylan Cromwell and his family. Dylan was driving the Jim Head Top Fuel Funny Car transporter / semi, and he passed away in an accident over the weekend. So our thoughts and prayers are with Dylan Cromwell and his family. Also, ladies and gentlemen, some news out of the IndyCar side of things. We have got Andretti, I'm not Andretti, but Penske has announced that they're moving from a 4-car team in the IndyCar series down to a 3-car team. Their driver lineup is pretty much set in stone. Scott McLaughlin, Joseph Newgarden, and Will Power. And then Meyer Shank also has got their team set in stone. They've got Simon Pagenaud and Elio Castroneves. So good luck to them guys next year. But also, ladies and gentlemen, too, racing wise, Kyle Larson picked up another NASCAR win over the weekend. So that's 3 in a row for Kyle Larson. But ladies and gentlemen, that is about it. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, have a good night. Catch you later on another episode of the Josh Nolan Full Throttle Racing Show, #1 on YouTube. So good night and talk to you later. Boom.